one, but for all you naysayers, here's one for the road.
I call upon the Prime Minister Netanyahu to address us. We were hesitating whether to call it Trump Tower or Trump Heights. But here in the Golan Heights, we decided on Trump Heights. And we control the heights with a lot of might. And now we added a very important layer with practical significance as well as symbolic significance to continuation of our control of the Golan Heights that will always be a part of the State of Israel. I'm saying it on a festive day in the presence of a great friend of the State of Israel, the ambassador in Israel, David Friedman. Hello, David, and thank you very much. His wife, Tabi, my wife, Sarah, the consultant of Trump, Ilan Karen, of course, the ministers of the government who took this very important historical decision, the head of the Regional Council, Golan Chaim Rokach, the heads of councils, past and present.
Coming at you with the truth and not the lies. That's the fake news job. Underneath the climate-engineered Noonan, Georgia skies, here's 1 foot of road of the shock treatment. So what's this I find here about the Golan Heights, some town? Named after Trump, Trump Heights. I mean, Israel and America, the relationship's made great again after 8 years of the friggin' socialist, the golfer-in-chief, in office doing nothing but undermining America, shrinking our military with a contracted GDP, disgrace of a foreign policy. China didn't even give him any much respect. I mean, this guy was a laughing stock of the entire world, except for the Luciferians and the leftists, the communists. They loved him just like they loved Fidel Castro, just like they loved the dictator down in Venezuela and jackasses such as that. And it's good to have, a relationship with restored with Israel. Israel is the apple of God's eyes, and this is going to be the home, Jerusalem, of Jesus. This is the home of Jesus' kingdom, future kingdom, that he's about to set up on earth. Rule and reign, right? So making amends or forging ahead in a strong relationship with Israel is a good thing, because the Bible says, he that blesses Israel, he'll bless him. If you curse Israel, he'll curse you. All right, period. So this appears to be a good step. After all, this has something to do with the Golan Heights going way back. Israel annexed the Golan Heights after getting, this is Trump getting a quick history lesson on the Golan Heights. And he was talking to some in-the-know people, and they explained to him what's going on. See, this is what I mean about advising. Getting back to the 5G and the chemtrails. Did they advise him about the detriments of the chemtrails, the geoengineering, the weather whiplash, the manipulation of the weather warfare? Did they mention anything like that? His advisors? Did they mention anything about the 5G and the radiation, how it's going to just virtually wreak havoc on everything? Did they mention that to him before he made his decision? He got advised here, he made his decision with his advisors here concerning Golan Heights, and that's exactly what he does, and any president does. with their advisor. It's called getting advice, right? From an advisor. I advise you, right? Like I advise you not to watch fake news. Speaking at the Republican Jewish Coalition gathering in Las Vegas, Trump said he made the snap decision during a discussion with his top Middle East peace advisors. Did you know that Trump and Kirshner are trying to forge ahead a peace agreement? Now, that doesn't mean Trump's going to be the Antichrist, because he's not. His name doesn't add up to 666, right? So he thinks he's doing a good thing, all right? That's what I mean about people read into shit. They think like, oh, well, he didn't do this and that. Well, I mean, does he know about this and that and the other? It's unbelievable, man. You know what? You see what I'm saying? Anyway, I want to get through this in a few minutes. It appears that this didn't get much coverage because I didn't hear about a lot of coverage out of this. I heard it mentioned hither and thither. Anyway, after the Six-Day War, it appears that Israel annexed the annexation of the Golan Heights resulted in 1981 after the Six-Day War. It happened in the 60s. And so Benjamin Netanyahu, who believes he'll be in office when usher in he believes he'll be in office. I came across information years ago saying, I guess the Antichrist is going to come to power and Netanyahu's going to be in power, Putin and things like that. So he thinks he believes he's part of Bible prophecy. In other words, the last of the last, the part of the tribulation. He'll be in power during that time. Of course, I'm not going to get into all the nuances of the tribulation, great tribulation, with the Antichrist coming to power, and of course, setting his sights on Israel, setting himself up as king in Third Temple. But for the most part, he believes he's touched or anointed by God for these last days and part of the Bible prophecy. And it appears to me that he is, but we'll see how it plays out. But anyway, Benjamin Netanyahu met with Trump in March. And then Trump signed a proclamation officially granting U.S. recognition of the Golan, of Israeli territory. All right? A dramatic departure from decades of U.S. policy and also the stupid UN that always likes to go against things like Israel and America. Get America out of the UN. Get the UN out of America, damn it. That's it. That's all I got to say. The move, which Trump announced in a tweet days prior, was widely seen as an attempt to boost Netanyahu for his re-election. Of course, they always have to have a twist on that, right? Fake news always has to come up with a reason why. It's to help his election. Come on, folks. Seriously. Israel captured, and it might be, I don't know, but that's neither here nor there. Israel captured the Golan in the 1967 Mideast War and annexed it in 1981. But it wasn't recognized internationally. I don't get this whole recognized internationally shit. I don't get this whole recognized internationally nonsense. I mean, that's like you doing something, and I go, well, I don't recognize you did it, that's yours. You went and bought or something, a car. Well, I'm not recognizing that's yours. Well, who am I to recognize your property? That's insane. So they won the Six-Day War. They annexed it in 1981. And then Trump went, bing, said on Saturday, describing the swiftness of his decision, "We make fast decisions and we make good decisions," he said. And when Trump asked the crowd who will win Israel's election, there were shouts of Bibi. Trump responded, "I think it's going to be close. Two good people." All right, so he wasn't out to necessarily get Bibi elected, because right there, out of the horse's mouth, there were two good people, he said. Netanyahu is fighting for his political survival, of course, just like Trump. And we don't need any more fake news doing the bidding of fake news. We need all the help we can get. Two sides of the same coin? Well, I'm not going to be on the dark side of that coin. I'm going to be on the good side of that coin. All right? So they named this town because he recognized it as part of Israel, which is something that the UN hasn't done, nor some previous presidents. But there are even some countries, I think it's Guatemala recognized it, followed suit with Trump's decision to recognize the Golan as Israel's territory, and other countries have done the same. So, not everybody probably agrees with it, but it's not everybody's business. Actually, it's only Israel's business, if you want to be honest. All Trump did was recognize it. That's it. And did you know that Israel also plans to have a Western Wall Trump train station there too? Did you know that? Not too bad for a guy that apparently seems like some claim that he's not doing his job and he's one of them. I mean, it's getting ridiculous out there, folks. It really is. It really is. You think God's not... do you really think God's frowning upon Israel and America's newfound stronger relationship? Or do you think he's pleased with that? Do you think God wants us to be enemies with Israel? Or do you think he wants us to be friends with Israel? Why don't you think about it? Crack open the Bible and think about it, all right? It's good that we have a relationship with Israel. It's not like, I don't know, you get a lot of people say Zionist. What does Zionist even mean? What? Pro-Israel's pro for itself? Country? You know what I mean? So, and if you have a friend and you're all for that friend benefiting, so what does that mean? You're a sellout to your own self? No. It just means you're a good friend, right? So, you know, all I see is the anti-Israeli sentiment rising more and more. All right? I see it rising more and more, and it reminds me of what's going to happen when the whole world comes against Israel in the Battle of Armageddon, right? I think it's Megiddo, something like that, Valley. That's what this reminds me of, and that's what it said. It seems like it's setting the stage for that. Okay, a supporter of Zionism, a person who believes in the development and protection of a Jewish nation in what is now Israel. So what's so wrong with that? What's wrong? Oh, I guess it's also wrong to be pro-America. You're a nationalist. You're a Hitler. Come on, folks, get out of town with that mess. Now, if you're worried about the 5G after all this and the chemtrails, which is very, very, everyone should be concerned. How about we all collectively try somehow to get the president's attention and tell him, look, President Trump, these chemtrails, they're bad. I don't know what they told you, the geoengineering and Harvard and industries such as that. I don't know what they told you, the military, but we're telling you this is bad. Here's what's in it. You think this is good to breathe? And look at the geoengineeringwatch.org. You know what I'm saying? Go that route. Hey, Mr. Trump, President Trump, did you know 5G's killer? Did you know it's military-grade weaponry? All right, when he's alerted to that, then gauge his reaction. But until then, I'm not gonna lock on his jock, so to speak. All right, I'm just not. But there are still a lot of bad things brewing, even though this is a good sign of the American-Israel friendship. This is a very good sign. Unlike Obama the past 8 years. But there's still bad things going in the works. We know that, folks. Because we know, ultimately, we're in the last days. I already went over this live. I showed you the Trey Smith from God in a Nutshell, Trump prophecies. I showed you the Kim Clement, right? Prophesying years before Trump decided to run for office. Or several years before. No, years before. Like 10 years before. I told you about Mark Taylor, the retired firefighter, whose God told him that Trump would be the next president. And he told him why he put him in for such a time as these. I told you all that. All right? So it's not Burger King. You're not getting your way on everything yet. All right? Then maybe that's up to us, to the truth community, to sound the alarm about the 5G and the chemtrails. Maybe if we reach critical mass awareness, then other people, the government will take notice. Trump will take notice. He has to. He has no choice. Right? But until then, it's our job to roll up our sleeves and wake the sheeple up. Don't blame Trump, blame the sheeple. If the damn sheeple wake up and get on the same page as us and we could collectively sound the alarm, you show us enough, you're damn right. They'll have no choice but to do something about it. Just like those certain schools where those C-word clusters were forming, right? And those firefighters where they put the cell towers next to the fire stations and the firefighters were getting sick, so they demanded that the cell towers get the hell out of there, and they did, right? That's what you got to do. So blame the sheeple. Blame the sheeple that naysay all the stuff that we tell them that's true, and they don't want to believe it. That's what's making the problem even a more daunting task, just a hard thing to get by. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? At any rate. Oh, man, you try to make me do that RFB voice again. Damn it. Anyway, that's what we need to do. Blame the sheeple if you don't like it. Blame the sheeple. Because you don't even know who knows what in the government. We know some people know it's bad. We know some people don't even know what the hell chemtrails are. All right? But don't assume, because you know what the first 3 letters are. All right? I'm just saying. That's it for now. I'll be going live next. See you on Facebook if you're a personal friend of mine. And see you next time on A Shock Treatment. Unbelievable.